If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out. Now, look, we got the paperwork, right? So we ain't got to assume, we ain't got to guess, we ain't got to do none of that no more, right? Because we have Ralo's paperwork. So ain't no more of that, he could. No, we got the actual paperwork, the sealed demonstration, right? We have that. Now, before we get into this demonstration and before I reveal the paperwork, allow me to say this right here, right? Because a lot of people don't understand how the criminal justice system works. And I'm assuming that a lot of you people who are making these outlandish comments ain't never been in a courtroom before. Ain't never wheeled and dealed with the prosecuting attorney before. Ain't never took a plea before. Probably ain't never been charged of a serious crime before. But you out here because you hearing people saying things and you just tagging along, and it don't work like that. So the first thing I want to clear up is this right here, the proffer. We hear this word proffer, right? And instantly, you got everybody, oh man, he did a proffer, man. He told, man. If you did a proffer, bruh, it's you told. Let me give y'all an understanding about something, right? Concerning a proffer and concerning plea agreements, right? The first thing that you gotta understand, or that we gotta understand, is this right here. When you plea bargain, you telling. Hold on, hood educated. Wait a minute. What the hell you mean? You take a plea bargain. Listen. When you take a plea, you are telling on yourself, right? Initially, when a plea bargain first start, they want to know about what you did. Now, if you want to deviate to talk about other stuff, what other people done did, and that's a part of your plea agreement, then that is an added thing into the plea agreement. But a plea agreement or a proffer is you telling on yourself. Check it out. Now, understand, right? When you do a proffer or when you do a plea agreement and you telling on other people's, then it's a plea agreement or a proffer with conditions. What you mean, hood educated? Conditions. What you talking about? You finna sit in front of us and tell us about what you did, and you finna sit in front of us and tell us about what they did. Yeah, you finna tell us about your homies. You finna tell us about your plug. You finna tell us about what you did when you was 5 years old. You finna tell on yourself and everybody else. Those is plea agreements with conditions. Because your plea agreement and the conditions, when you fulfill the elements of that condition of telling on your homeboys, then that's when you get the reward for doing all that telling on your peoples. But if you just accepting a plea, or if you sitting down with the prosecutor on a proffer, initially, like I just showed y'all, you telling on yourself. And I'm speaking from experience because I took a plea agreement before. Understand something. When you take a plea agreement, you have to tell about everything that happened in that crime. Everything. You cannot go into a plea agreement talking about, just say you pleading to robbery and you pleading out. And they ask you, okay, hey, hood educated, so when you seen the victim, you pulled your gun out and you ran up on him and you took his stuff? No, I ain't taking nothing from him. I ain't even pulled no gun out. That destroys the whole plea agreement. Why? Because I'm not admitting to guilt. I'm not fulfilling the elements of the crime. I'm not fulfilling the elements of robbery. If I say I didn't rob somebody during the plea agreement, that's not pleading out. Pleading out is when you are accepting guilt and you are saying to the government, hey, look, I did this. Yeah, that was me. And when they ask you them questions, them incriminating questions, did you pull the gun out? Yeah. Did you rob the person? Yep. Tell us what you do. You got to tell them. You got to let it be known. Now, allow me to say this right here, because y'all listen, this happens all the time. Some of y'all probably don't understand this, but I got to tell y'all this right here before I get into this paperwork, right? A lot of y'all don't understand, man. When you sit in that courtroom and you take a plea bargain and you got a co-defendant, right? Now, if the co-defendant is locked up with you, you know what happens? You kick it with your co-defendant, y'all writing each other letters, y'all sending messages. Hey, we got to plea out, bruh. They got us, we caught. If we go to trial, they gonna give us 40 years if we go to trial. But they saying if we plead out, they gonna give us 15. So we got to accept them pleas. And you and your co-defendant say, I bet, man, I'm finna go ahead and plead guilty. I'm finna go ahead and plead guilty too. What's your deal? Man, they gonna give me 14 years. Okay, dang, I'm trying to get 14 too, but they say they gonna give me 15 because I'm the one that had the gun and slapped the person upside the head with it. Yeah, all right then, man. Okay, cool. Now, when these two guys go into that courtroom, you know what they gonna do? They gonna tell on each other. This is plea agreements. When they sit in that courtroom, okay, y'all both did that home invasion. Yeah, we what did he do? Okay, he was the driver. He was the one that drove up and let me outside the car, and then I ran up and kicked the door down. Then they gonna ask that other guy, what did he do? Oh, I pulled up and I stopped the car. He the one jumped out and kicked the door down and ran in there with the gun, and then I ran in there after him and searched the house. You telling on each other. This is plea agreements. This is how this stuff works. So for those of you who like, hey man, listen man, let me tell y'all something. If you ain't never been in that criminal justice system, you don't have room to talk about what's happening, man, because you don't know about that world. It's a whole totally different world. And this is okay though. You got real stomped down killers, real stomped down guys that are in prison right now with their co-defendants, and they had to tell on each other to get that plea agreement. All that, man, you got to stick to the code, go to trial. Brother, let me tell y'all something. Going to trial, them people will lose you. That's why people plea out, especially if they know they guilty. Trial is for the innocent. Let's keep it 100. Trial is for the innocent, not the guilty. If you guilty and you know you did something, you trying to plea out. You ain't trying to go to trial because you done seen guilty people before you that went to trial and was found guilty and they slam dunked them. Gave them that elbow, what we call in Minnesota, an elbow. That's a life sentence. Yeah, so you don't do that. You and your co-defendant, y'all sit down. Hey man, look, check this out. And y'all gonna sit in that courtroom and y'all gonna tell on each other. And it's gonna be accepted. You gonna go do your time with your chest out and your head up. Ain't nobody gonna call you a snitch or nothing. Come on, man, I'm giving y'all some real game. I'm telling y'all the truth. That's how it go. Now, let's get into this paperwork. Ralo, man, listen. Stand up. Stand up guy. I gotta give it to him. In this paperwork, right, you are going to see that Ralo During his proffer, remember what I told y'all? The proffer is what? When you come in there to tell her on yourself. The plea agreement is what? When you come in there to tell on yourself. That's what Ralo did. Check it out. Now, as y'all can see, right? As y'all can see. Now, if for some of y'all, if it went too fast and y'all couldn't catch it, I got the paperwork on my Patreon. Go over there. The link gonna be pinned in the top of the comment section. Y'all go over there where y'all can sit down and examine it the way y'all want to. You know what I mean? But Ralo went in there and told on himself and told them people, look, that's mines. Yeah, that stuff y'all got, that's mines. The people that's around me, my gang and all that, they ain't, He tried to save them. Stand up. Bosses don't usually do this. Let's keep it real. Bosses, kingpins, and you know, they tell on the small guys. Let's keep it 100. What's that movie that Denzel Washington played in when he was the big time drug dealer when out there in New York? Come on, y'all know what movie I'm talking about. I can't think about it right now. What did he do when he got knocked? He got to telling on the police and you know, all the small guys. What about the other guy that he was in competition with? Got to telling. You see what I'm saying? But just not in they incident, but just this happens all the time with the big time drug dealer, the big time criminals tell on the small guys to get a lesser sentence. Mob bosses do it all the time. You see what I'm saying? Man, look, Ralo went in there and told them people, I'm the boss. Yeah, I'm the boss. Them boys there, they ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's all on me. Yeah. So for all y'all, he a rat. He done told, he this, that, and the other. He had a profit. Understand what a profit is. It's before you right now. You seeing it. This man went in there and said, look, this is mine. And not only that, when they got to question him about his plug, he told them people his plug on the deathbed, and he ain't telling on him. When they got to asking him about killings, shootings, murders, I don't know nothing about that. I ain't come here. I came here to tell y'all about what I did. I don't know nothing about that. I'm not talking about no killings and all that. So let me give y'all an understanding real quick. Let's just say, right? We snitches, right? And the main thing of a snitch is what? To get out of jail. That's his main purpose. I don't want to sit in jail, so I'm gonna tell on everybody to get out of jail. Now, we got to understand something. This man, Ralo, just said that he's a boss. He is an admitted kingpin. He told the government that he laundered millions of dollars and that he sold pounds and pounds of weed, right? He telling them this. This one thing we got to understand, y'all. If you are a kingpin, you gotta know about the murder game. What you mean, hood educated? Why he gotta know about murders and stuff like that? Because you don't become a kingpin being a Rudy Poo. You don't become a kingpin being soft. Because there's other kingpins out there that's gonna try you. They gonna try your gang. They gonna try your peoples. And y'all gotta lay this murder game down to let them know we ain't soft, we ain't to be played with. Don't run up on us trying to rob none of our trap houses. Don't run up and try to steal none of our product. Don't try to snatch no change from us, because we killing peoples. We shooting peoples. We putting in work. Any kingpin gotta surround himself with killers. He gotta have killers around him. Why? Because the lions, tigers, bears, gorillas, and the vultures that's in the ghettos all across America, they watching. That boy Ralo getting a lot of money over there. Man, you see that Lambo he pulled up in? He got 2 of them. You see all them diamonds? The boy wet. He dripping. The robbers, look, they watching. They starving. This is the Serengeti. We gotta understand something. Y'all ever seen when y'all be watching the National Geographic channel, and them hyenas, they be with their head down, then they see something, what they do? They look up, they hear something. What's that? Hold on. That look like a meal over there. Them lions, they look up, they see something. Look, it's in the hood. When you doing all that flashing that Ralo was doing on the Instagram, the robbers, the jackers, they looking. That's food. They can eat. But what deters them, he got them killers with him. We can't even rob him. Because he got Keyshawn, Ralo, Bebe, Moo Man, Moo Doop. He got all them, and we know them boys done killed before. We can't do nothing to them. What you saying, hood educated? What you getting at? This what I'm getting at. Ralo know about some killings. Ralo know about some shootings. And if he was a real rat snitch, how everybody trying to say he is, then we got to understand that when they question him, when the police, when the federal government and the district attorney questioned him about murders and shootings, that was his perfect opportunity to say, yeah, I know about that. Y'all will let me go if I tell y'all about that murder that happened in 95, the one that happened in 2012, the one that happened in 2017, the one that happened in 2015, the one where that boy was shooting on the highway. Y'all, hey, I got murders. That was his perfect opportunity to start telling. He a snitch. He want to get out of jail, right? That's his perfect opportunity. Hey, I got to start telling. I mean, shit. It's clear cut for him to see. All he had to do was just think, oh, Sammy the Bull got out talking about them murders. OG Giggity got out talking about them murders. And the list goes on and on. Them just the ones that we know about. Them just the ones that we know about. You see what I'm saying? That's a clear cut to the goal line. I'm a snitch. I tell about these murders. I get out. What Ralo do? Y'all just think the paperwork. I don't know nothing about I can't. I don't know nothing about that. Listen, man, allow me to say this right here, y'all. I'm not defending and I'm not advocating, okay, for the violence and for the drug dealing and all that old type of stuff, right? Well, right is right and wrong is wrong. What he was doing in the community, out of pocket. I did a lot of out-of-pocket stuff in the community, right? But he did some out-of-pocket stuff as well. With him sitting down, with this change his outlook on life, with this change his attitude and all that, I hope so. I hope now that he really get to sit down and examine himself, examine everything around him, and then just, figure it out and say, you know what, that life was fun. I lived it. It was a good thing. I had fun doing it. But now I'm on to something different. I'm finna change my life, and I'm finna start, living for God. I'm finna start living for Allah, and I'm finna, change things, and I'm finna start, being that I done took away from my community, I'm finna start providing for my community and putting back in my community some positive energy instead of all that negative energy that I created. Who knows though? But I just gotta say that because a lot of people believe in their mind that, ratting is a good thing. A lot of people believe in their mind that ratting is a bad thing. Now, allow me to say this. Either way you believe, that's your portion of understanding. It's okay with me. If you believe that people should be telling on each other to clean the community up, look, that's you. If you still in that criminal mind and all that, hey, that's you. Now, let me say this though. Allow me to say this, y'all. Y'all gotta hear me out. 1090 Jake got my paperwork. And he been threatening me for the last year that I've been on YouTube, saying that he gonna expose me. If I don't, praise him and talk about how good his video is. Now let me quit. I had to do that, y'all. I had to, because it was a guy in my comments, right? He said, 1090 Jake must got your paperwork hood educated because you talk real good about him. That's the only blog I hear you talk about. And I'm just like, hey man, all right, man, 1090 Jake got my paperwork and I'm terrified. But let me say this right here because, I'm about to close, but a lot of people are saying that why did he wanted to seal the paperwork if he didn't do nothing wrong, right? Because, and this is just my portion of understanding, right? Because a lot of people believe that he wanted to seal it because he did something wrong. This is my portion of understanding. He's an entertainer. He's a rapper. He's a drug dealer. You don't want that coming out. You know what I'm saying? You don't want no type of sitting down with the government, explaining, telling on yourself and all this old type of stuff coming out. Why? Because of, look what's going on now. Just because this man told on himself, he a snitch. And he didn't want that to come out because look at what's going on right now. You know what I mean? Like, and for people that don't know how the criminal justice system work, they gonna look at that and be like, he told. And it's like, man, y'all just don't know, man. Like I explained to y'all earlier in this video, if you pleading guilty, you telling. Period, point blank. If you in the proper, you telling. But you telling on yourself. This is hood educated, not lame related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, please hit that subscribe button if you ain't subscribed to the channel already, and give me a like. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now, before I depart, let me give a shout out to the homeboy Baja for the $11 cash app. I really appreciate that, brother. Thank you. Y'all take care of yourself. Peace.